Hello and welcome to my channel. This is Peg with Craft Room Stories, and I've got some fun things happening today. And I just thought I would bring you along because, why not? I want to share the fun with you, and I hope that you will enjoy this. Okay, I got this idea from G. Kerr with Happiness in Crafting. She's like a genius crafter and comes up with the absolute best ideas. But look at these, please. Oh, I'm going to try to get this up real close. I'm going to stand up so I can show you. Look at this. Look at this teeny hat, okay? Now, it has a little bit of bulk. Bear with, my dogs are barking outside. And look, there's a paper clip on the back so that you can clip it onto something. Equally, you can leave the paper clip off and, glue it on or put a magnet on it. It doesn't even have to go in your junk journal. It could stick on your fridge or any place fun. But they're so cute, and I've gone a little crazy. Now, this isn't even the half of the ones I've made and given out and put with journals and things, but this one kind of says to me like Spanish. I don't know. I see this in this design and I think Spain. And then I see this design and I think Mexico. I don't know, color-wise and kind of design choice. That's what it makes me think of. But are they not the cutest things? And this one, oh, just covered in lace. Lace and, oh. And this one says to me a little bit like Scarlett O'Hara, maybe, with Gone with the Wind. I don't know, just... And then you can also make, and this one just went a little crazy with that. Put a little feather and a little rose. I don't know. And this one's kind of poofy. I put some batting up there and made it poofy. A really high hat. Fun. You can make tiny ones. This is a little top hat with also a little bit of feather. And that one's a paper clip. Most of mine I made paper clips, but you can make them as dangles. This one is not a paper clip. It's a dangle. And I put a little bulb pin on there and put a little broken piece of jewelry dangling from the back. I hope I'm not going too fast. I always think, can they actually see or am I making it dizzy? This one, also cute. I don't know. It just kind of a nod to the straw hat. I wrapped some string around that one. Hope you can see the detail. And that's a smaller one. And then another one, smaller one like that. They're so fun. I can't even tell you. I absolutely love it. The gingham ones, I don't know if they might be my favorites. I don't know. I've just had fun. They're not, the way I've made them, they're not exceptionally thin. They have some bulk to them, as you can see. So putting them inside a journal could be problematic. But I guess you can make these flatter. I've seen other people make the top parts flatter. But I think still, even if they're flatter, putting them inside a journal might be problematic. So they're fun, though, decorating a journal on the end as dangles or just to put in a, happy mail. People can do with it what they want. I don't know. I find them fun. So it's been a long time since I made these, a really long time. So I have no idea. I cut all these things out of like some sort of packaging, Kleenex boxes. I'm not even sure what they all are, but helps if you hold this correctly. Okay, so just to measure the inside circle is 3/4 of an inch. And if you have a punch, go you. If you have a like a Cricut or a Silhouette or whatever, then you can do it that way. This is the cover that goes on the bottom to cover up all of the fabric things. And so the inside one is just about 2 1/4, and the outside one is 2 1/2 for the bigger ones. Now the smaller ones, the inside one is just under 1.5, and the other one is 1.5 circles. Okay, but I use the same inside part for both. So I have brought along a selection of fabrics, which I don't know how many I thought I was going to make on here, but all of these fabrics will work lovely for this. But I thought I might start with, this is an old napkin that I have coffee dyed. And I just feel like it might lend itself to a straw hat looking type, maybe. I don't know, but that's what I'm thinking in my head. But I think I have a smaller piece of it here, which I think that's sufficient size. I might use, I think I was saving that for some ruffles, but I don't need to do that. Okay, I'm going to scooch a little closer here. Okay, now I've got my hot glue gun going because I love the hot glue, and it's, for me, it's just so quick and easy when you're doing these videos and you don't have to sit and wait for it to go. But I've also got my Fabri-Tac because I'm working with fabric. I just feel like that's easier. You can glue, when you're gluing these little pieces together, you can use, any kind of glue. I don't know that I would use art glitter glue because it might glue too fast and then you can't move your piece. I think, and hot glue obviously moves fast, but our glues fast, moves fast. Well, it can. Okay, and I've got some different things set out. Oh, y'all, I don't know. Today, I have made one, and I don't have it anymore because I gave it away. I have made a hat using this. This is vintage. I don't know how old this is, but it makes me think probably 70s. And I think my niece had a hat with her that matched her dress that went out of this. Was made out of this. So, I mean, this would go around. I think what I did when I made this, I actually used a smaller one so that this would be not covered up. You could still see through it and everything. But this makes such a cute hat. And then I also have, all of this gingham ruffle. So I may do a gingham ruffle one. I don't know. But first, let's make a big one so I can show you how it's made. And I'm just waffling about here, not getting it done. Now, the reason I'm going to do hot glue, this has a shiny side. Now, you could, it could come apart, but you're covering it with fabric, so I think it'll be fine. But you're going to want to glue several of these together, and to not use that many of the pieces and have to glue too many together, I'm going to use hot glue because it kind of has some bulk to it, which is kind of what we want. Now, if you're wanting it to smash down flat, you can use cardboard and it'll smash a little flatter. But I'm not really trying to make them be able to fit inside my journal. I just use them on the outside. So, you do what you want. But, and I have one already put together, but I wanted to show you step by step how to do it. I hope this has enough light. I feel like there's a lot of shadow over here. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing. The light is coming in from behind me and everything, but I maybe should have turned my ring light on. It looks a little dark to me, but it might not be to you. I don't know. Now, I don't know how many of these. G would use like about 10 of them, she said, to, put together. I'm not actually counting, but, I'm just getting it the size that I want it. Of course, now I have glue threads, but that's the nature of hot glue. And also, because I'm using hot glue, maybe I won't have to use maybe I won't have to glue as many of these together. I am going to try to make this not a long video, but this is a little bit of a process, and when you're explaining it, it takes even longer. For some reason, I can't talk and glue at the same time for some reason. I'm not sure why, which makes it difficult for me to have this channel because I can't do tutorials too well. Okay, so I've got it about that high right now, and that's, I still want it to be slightly higher than that. But it's really a personal choice. You can do what you want. But I'm going to do just 2 more on here. And you want to get them relatively equal, but they're not, you know, if they're not completely in place, you don't have to obsess about that because you're covering it with fabric. I mean, you don't want it completely wonky, but I don't know if you can see that. I hope I'm on frame when I'm gluing here, but you can see that it's not completely even all the way around, but you just get it as close as you can. And then you're going to cover it with fabric. So nobody's going to see if you were perfect or not. And if you're, you know, OCD a little bit, well, crafting is going to be your challenge, won't it? Things don't have to be perfect, especially in junk journals. That is the nature of junk journals and why I love them, because I am not perfect. Now, my dog Paisley is outside barking like a lunatic because she wants to come in. I'm going to move these other ones out of the way so that I do not end up damaging them because, ooh, and I better get a paper clip ready. Since I'm making a bigger one, I wonder if I need a bigger paper clip. I know I'm talking away from the camera. Let me get my paper clip container. Compare that one to that one. I think I'll go with a small one. And also, the small ones don't have as much bulk, so that's fine too. Now, G did hers where she put the paper clip on a separate piece of paper and put it inside. Or you can also do it on the outside of that. But that means that that is going to show on the rim. You know, it would show here. But that is what I did before. And it shows slightly. Okay. I mean, if you were having that up, but if you look at it this way, you can, if you look at it this way, you can see it. But if you look at it flat, you can't. So really, it's a personal choice. But I think to keep the bulk down and not have an extra piece of paper, I'm just going to go ahead and put it on that. And you'll see what we're going to do with that. Now, let us cut a piece. You need a square. And I could get my little mini iron out and iron this right now. But that would take time. And I don't want to take the time away. And since I'm gluing it, it's going to glue pretty straight. Okay, so you know what? This piece has been torn. I'm not going to use this because it's already got lots of little furry edges. So I'm going to take this one and cut a square. You can just put your piece on there for your measurement. And then just cut. Now I know I have like the edging on here, but we're not going to worry about that because I'm going to cut that down. Okay. After you get this on here, then you kind of want to cut a little bit of a circle. And you might be asking, well, why didn't she just cut the circle ahead of time? Mostly because I can't cut at an angle like that very well. I mean, some of you may be more talented than me. Go ahead on. But I'm just going to do this. And I'm just... Now, G used a little bit of glue stick to just glue that in place and keep it from moving. And I am going to do the same. It does not have to be a glud. I'm just not able to talk today. Not sure why. But I'm going to take a little bit of glue stick. And I'm gluing the color piece down because it's not going to show through. I say, nope, I'm wrong. It will show through. Okay, what to do in a situation like this? Okay, I am going to real quickly take a little piece of sandpaper and just see if I can scuff that down real quick. Now, I don't want to get that all over everything, so I'm going to show you what I'm doing, and then I'm going to do it off camera real quick so that I don't get it everywhere, the little dust particles. And I'm going to try to scuff that, the predominance of that picture off of there, because I don't want that showing through either on the backing, on the edges, or, you know, if I choose to put this down through the material, I don't want it showing through the material. So I just have a sanding block. You can also use a nail file, but when you're doing a larger area, you don't quite want a sanding block, just does it faster than a nail file. But, well, this might be another longer video because I'm trying to do this and quickly and okay. All right. See what we have here now? I've predominantly gotten most of that off of there. So I do not believe that that will really show through. Excellent. That's where we're putting the glue stick, is on this side here. And you're not trying to glue it down with the glue stick. You're just trying to get it so that when you're pulling the edges in, that little piece won't move. Now, I don't know if the dogs are going to go crazy today or not, but I'm going to have to bring them in because Paisley's driving me nuts. I can't concentrate when I hear her periodic barking. So as I've just shaken the table, give me a second. I'm going to be right back. Okay, I'm back. My chair's going to make some noise. And I'll probably shake the table a little bit. Sorry. Okay. Now, what you want to do, now you can do this with hot glue or you can do this with Fabri-Tac. I think I'm going to do it with hot glue because it's just so much faster and dries quicker. Okay, so you're just going to want to do the very edge because you can trim it a little bit more if you want less bulk. And everybody can do it whatever way they want. You can go around as is. I tend to take the 4 sides and do a little bit. I hope I'm on camera. I keep pulling it towards me. I am going to get the hang of this. Oh, now I've got to move the scissors because... All right. I have a hard time doing the craft away from me. Okay, so then I take each corner and bring that in. You can do however you like. G went around the edge and just did it that way. And I'm going to link her video so you can watch her process. You might like hers better than mine. You might come up with your own. You know, crafting is so personal. You can't really do it wrong, just different. Okay, so now you see I have these kind of bulky edges. And because this fabric is not super thin, I'm going to kind of trim those off and glue some more, okay? So, trying to move stuff out of the way. And there's, oh my word. Okay. Pardon me. Paisley is at it again, standing up. I'm going to chastise. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Well, several of you have dogs and have said that I should not be upset at them for barking because you really can't control it. So that's what I'm going with. You can't really get upset at them. They are dogs. So I'm cutting this kind of in a little bit so that I don't have the edgy pieces all the way to the edge and I can glue them. I don't know that this is necessarily necessary. I could have just laid them down. But I'm just trying to get as less bulk on it. So this can be tedious or it doesn't have to be. If you're using a thin piece of fabric like muslin or something like that, you know, it's maybe you wouldn't have to do this. Okay. You can kind of pull them in. Of course, when you do it with Fabri-Tac, it's got to be said that you can pull in these little corners while it's drying. So maybe the next one I make, I will use Fabri-Tac. Okay, it doesn't matter. we have it. And so then you want a little piece. I forgot where I put it. Okay, and the reason that I am using hot glue for this is because I've got that paper clip on there and I really want it to stick down fast. But sometimes when you go fast, you can glue yourself and that hurts a lot. Just saying. Now, the thing with gluing this on first, and I've just realized this, is that you now have to be mindful of the direction of your bow if you're putting a bow on it or any decoration. You have to be mindful of that, but that's okay. We can do that. So see, that covers up all the ragged bits. Now you can edge this like I did not do with a little, where's my little, ink oxide or whatever, distress oxide, either distress ink or distress oxide. But so I'm just going to do that because I meant to do that ahead of time because I just think it looks a little more finished rather than just kind of hanging out there by itself. And it obviously doesn't look as good when you do it after it's already glued on. That's okay. Now, where it's coming loose, where I didn't get the hot glue all the way to the edge, I'm now going to come and just kind of seal those edges in. It's good and stuck, but I just don't like that these might kind of poke up a little bit, personally. When I'm done with this tutorial, you'll be like, she cannot do tutorials. Please don't let her. And I will agree with you. I'm not that great at showing somebody how to do something, especially on camera, I guess. But when I'm done, you'll have a cute little hat if you try to make it. Or watch G's. Watch G's tutorial. She's fast. She's good. She's been doing it longer than me. I love her. Okay, so now you've got that, and we've got that facing up. Now we're going to take our little piece that we glued together this way. Oh, and you can use toilet paper roll for this. You can use just anything. I use Kleenex box, you know, like the covers that you get out of that. I use, like, when you get a paper pad, the top of the paper pad or the bottom of the paper pad. I use all kinds of things for this. I keep all that stuff when I need really heavier than cardstock kind of thing. Now, you could use cardstock, but you're going to be gluing a whole bunch of it together, and you may just eventually lose the will to live. So beware. Now, I just need a little tiny piece, a little square. I'm not going to use these scissors for that. My dog is literally thinking about getting up there to bark again. Paisley, you may not. No, ma'am. Now, I'm going to probably cut a bigger piece than is really needed just because it's higher. So I have to make sure that I can cover the whole thing. So again, I'm going to use the glue stick and glue down this so it will stay. And Paisley, I know you're looking out the window, but you best not be barking, ma'am. Thank you. Okay, now we'll try a little bit of Fabri-Tac and see if that works better. This is actually Fabri-Fix. There's so many options you can get. Fabri-Tac, Fabri-Fix, 3-in-1, all from Beacon. They supposedly have different, like, I don't know what I'm trying to say, configurations of, I don't know, science. I'm not good with science. So what we're trying to do here is we are trying to just go all around this. And don't worry if it's a little wrinkled. You're just trying to get this glued up in that direction, okay? And then just go around and kind of make sure that it is staying. And the reason it doesn't matter if there's little wrinkles on the side like that is because we're going to put a little ribbon around it. So you won't even see it. Okay. And then we'll just cut off this excess. We don't need all of that. And we'll cut more of that off. I'll take my, that's the thing with the fabric tack and stuff. You just have to hold it a little bit longer. And when you're doing a video, you don't want to just be sitting here holding it forevermore. Okay, I'm going to cut that pretty close with it, probably within like a fourth or a third of an inch. I'm just estimating. To where you can kind of meet up in the middle and not be overlapping as much. Of course, if it overlaps, you know, you're just going to have a little bit higher of a hat center. So it's just up to you. Okay. So we've got that. And now we're going to do, I'm going to try this instead of the hot glue and see if I can avoid burning myself and still sticking it down. I'm going to put quite a generous amount though, which will make it take a little longer to stick, but I'm trying to pull it in at the same time. And this looks like a mess, doesn't it? But don't worry, it's going to work out in the end. Okay, I'm going to turn it down on my glass mat and just hold it for a bit and press it down really hard. And then I had picked out this lovely green gingham bow to do with it. And so I'm going to also need some ribbon, some more of this to go around the brim area. And because this is a wide ribbon and the thinner ribbon that I have does not, I'm going to leave that. Okay, I think what I'm going to do, that is glued in about as well as it is going to be. I'm going to go ahead and stick that to this. Okay, and then you want to kind of shove that in a little bit. Trying to get that exactly in the middle. All right, now you can see it's turning into a hat and it's so cute. And now let me just grab that. I'm just checking to see if I have a piece of it in here. I have another scrap basket of just a lot. These are the bigger pieces, and I'm not even addressing that right now. I'm just going to use them as I come to see them. But I don't see it, so give me a second, and I will grab. Okay, here we go. We just need a piece long enough to go around, and then I'll probably fold it in half. Okay. You could go with a contrasting one like this, and it would be cute. But because you've made the bow, you know, out of this other, I kind of like it to match so that it looks like, you know, it's tied and then tied in a bow like this one. I don't know, that to me just seems better, but you could do a contrasting. You could be like, okay, this was the rim. And then, now what did I do with the piece that I just cut? Seriously, did I knock it on the floor? Y'all are probably seeing it and going, it's right there. But I literally just cut that, right? I didn't imagine cutting it. I cut it. Didn't I? What did I do? Did it fall in the ground? I'm sure that you guys can probably see it or saw what happened to it. Did I flick it away? Right, okay. I literally don't see it at all. Okay. I feel, and now I'm knocking everything down. Is that it? That's it. Okay, I did flick it aside. All right. Oh, you guys, every day is just an interesting day. Okay, now I'm going to just kind of go along the edge of here, and I'm going to fold that in half so that it will fit. And this ribbon is the same on both sides. So I'm just gluing this together. I'm sure you could just iron it in place, and I've got my tiny little iron I could do that with, but I would have had to have done that ahead of time so that I'm not like taking your time during the video, because this is probably already going to be a long video. G did hers in like 20 minutes. I want to be like that when I grow up. Okay. Just going to trim a little bit of this. You can burn the edges too if you want them not to be too. Okay. Now I'm going to put a little glue. Actually, you know what? I think I'm going to use hot glue for this, because otherwise well, y'all, I have run over my cord with my chair. And now I just keep moving it. Oh, okay. You know how when it's not your day, it's just not your day all day long? I think this is my day. And I'm sure I am just shaking the camera all over the place because this house is not on a solid surface. So anytime you move across the floor, you are shaking the floor. Okay, we're not having an earthquake, although we did, apparently. I don't know. Some people felt it and some people didn't. Now I am leaving a little bit of the solid line green at the top because I like that. I like that look. Now I'm going to do the rest with Fabri-Tac until I come to the end so that I can kind of tuck this underneath. You see that? Now, I've done this wrong already. I'm taking it off because you want the seam to be where you're going to put the bow. I forgot to say that. I probably should just stop this and do it another day, but I really don't have time because Isabel's birthday is this Saturday, and I have to make cupcakes and vegetarian meatballs and some little miniature bundt cakes. She wants white chocolate raspberry cupcakes and chocolate with a mascarpone cheese cream. Bundt cake. Okay, y'all, I'm already forgetting what I've told you. Why? Okay, let's put a little bit of Fabri-Tac around here. Are you dizzy yet? Are you still with me even? Because I would not even blame you for just going, you know what? I'm just going to watch cheese. I'm like ridiculous. And I can't even tell a story because I'm like trying to do this, and I'm sorry. I just apologize for all the nonsense. Okay. Trimming that down a little bit. Okay. Now we're going to push that down and try to cover up any little flaws that we have. And I just love these little hats. They're a little bit tedious to make, but I mean, you know, if you could do this sitting in front of a TV, you know, watching a movie or watching a show with your, you know, while you're doing it. And I like to listen to audiobooks. I find that relaxing and fun. I have narrated a few audiobooks. I enjoy doing that. I'm not the best at it. I need a lot more practice, but I enjoy it. Okay, now this is here. Okay, you see that where the seam is, and there's the top of our paper clip, and then we're going to glue the bow on there. And that is going to hide that seam. Now I try to get it pretty close. And I'm always looking and checking to see if the bow is exactly in the right place. And it is. And I love for the bow to kind of stand up a little bit. I just think that looks cute. And sometimes I glue these streamer things down a little bit so that they're not spread out as far and more together like they would be on the back of a hat. So I'm just going to put a tiny little thing of hot glue to hold it in place. Hopefully I'm on frame. Just a little teeny drop of it. And then, sorry, my fingers are a mess with hot glue now. Then, when this is, let me see if I can get this on a piece of paper so that you can see what this will look like. And of course, here's a journal I won from Cheryl Talafus at the Journal Cottage, I think is hers. Okay, so look at that. How cute is that? You see that? It just paper clips right on. And isn't that like the cutest thing? Oh my goodness. I wish it was my idea. It's not, but I took it and ran with it. And I'm going to see how long we've been filming. Yeah, 40 minutes already. Okay, so I'm going to stop this and let you guys use your imaginations and make a bunch of these and just enjoy this, okay? All right, y'all have a fabulous day. Bye.